Hey everyone, it's Andrew Olson, aka Barney Builder here. Today I just wanted to jump on, make a quick video. Um, this is a video I've kind of been avoiding making, but I feel strongly that I need to come out and make it. Um, and it's in relation to the new Barney reboot coming out, Barney's World. In the past couple of months, there's been a lot of tension, hate, and hostility creeping into our Barney fan community, unfortunately. If you take anything away from this video, it's to stop it. We're all here to love each other. That's what Barney's all about. And if we can't come together as a community and show love while still disagreeing, then are we truly Barney fans? A community that I fell in love with was a community of love, kindness, and acceptance. And over the past couple of months, it's turned into a community of tension, name calling, hate, over something that many of us don't even have control over. I know each and every one of us loves Barney. That's why we're here. We grew up with him. He was for a lot of us, he was our best friend throughout our childhood. For some of us, he continues to be that friend through adulthood. Change isn't easy, but sometimes change is necessary. In relation to the Barney reboot, specifically the new Barney design, some people love it in the community, some people hate it. You're more than free to vocalize your opinion on what you think about it, but I would highly encourage you and stress that you do so in a kind and loving manner. We're here to celebrate a character that spreads love. And if we're not able to spread love ourselves, then are we truly even Barney fans? So through your social media interactions, even day-to-day interactions, I'd encourage each and every one of you to say things that Barney would approve of. Use your words in a kind and thoughtful manner. Many of you have asked me what I think about the new series, and I've intentionally not come out and voiced an opinion because I don't have one. Really, as a child, I was taught to not judge a book by its cover, and all we've really seen from this series is the cover. How am I able to judge its contents by, just seeing the title, just seeing the character's new design? It's not fair for me to cast judgment on something I know nothing about yet. What I will say is that if Mattel is able to stay true to Barney's core competence, if Mattel is able to stay true to what Cheryl, Kathy, and Dennis set in motion, if they're able to stay true to Barney's true character, I think things will be fine. Remember, this series is being made for toddlers, 2-year-olds, not 20 and 30-year-olds. There's really only a couple thousand 20 or 30-year-olds out there that even care about Barney still. So if this character is going to live on, if there's going to be a longevity to Cheryl, Kathy, and Dennis's creation, things had to change to evolve with the times. So if this character is to have longevity, it needs to be with children and not adults. I have an analogy. I love Disney. I grew up in California going to Disneyland as a child. My entire family loves Disney. Even my grandma, she went to Disneyland in 1955, right when it opened. An analogy I've kind of come up with in terms of this new Barney is, I look at my grandma. Think of your grandma. Pretend like they went to Disneyland or Disney World right when it opened in 1955. Everything was brand new experiences, things that no one had ever seen before in the theme park world. Pretend that grandparent of yours was able to go back to Disneyland month after month for their entire childhood. They form memories with their parents, with their siblings, memories that they would cherish and take with them for the rest of their lives. Now imagine yourself. You go to Disneyland in 2023. Things are completely different. They have a Star Wars area to the park now. They have Marvel. They have all these movies that came out since 1955 that They have new lands, new rides, everything is different. The park is nothing like it was when your grandparents went there. Now, if you ask your grandparent, which do you like better, 1955 Disneyland or 2023 Disneyland? They might say 1955 because that's what they grew up with. That's where their memories lie. That was their heyday. But if you ask yourself, what do you prefer? If you look at what they grew up with at the park versus what you're growing up with at the park, more likely than not, you're going to say, I love 2023 Disneyland. They have more to offer. I've created my own memories there. Is one better than the other? No. One's different than the other. One's a more evolved version of the other, but they're special to each respective person in their own way. You can look at the same kind of thing with Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. I watched Mr. Rogers as a child a lot. I loved Mr. Rogers. And after he passed, there's now Daniel Tiger's Neighborhood, which is kind of a spiritual successor to Mr. Rogers. Now, if you ask me, I'm going to say I love Mr. Rogers better than Daniel Tiger Neighborhood, because that's what I grew up with. That's what I formed my childhood memories around. But if you ask today's youth, show them an episode of Mr. Rogers and show them an episode of Daniel Tiger's, they'll probably go with Daniel Tiger because that's what they're familiar with. That's what they're comfortable with. So too should we be approaching Barney the same way. If Mattel remade 1992 Barney in a 2023 media landscape, I don't think it'd do too well. Barney had its time. The Barney we grew up with had its time. And it was genius when it was there. We all have fond memories of watching Barney, And if the characters to continue, I think they realized that they needed to evolve and develop to meet the needs of a new generation of children. There's a lot of competition out there now. 1992, there was barely any competition for them. And I think that's why they were so successful. They hit that niche right when they needed to. But in order to capture the attention of today's toddlers, things need to be done a little differently. That's not to say that the Barney that I grew up with, the Barney that you grew up with, is gonna be replaced by some new Barney. What I am saying is that by you shutting down, bashing, and kind of villainizing this new Barney, you're robbing a generation of children the opportunity to get to know the character in the same way you did. This might be the only way that today's youth can be reached by Barney. And it's not fair to them to be trying to shut it down before anything's ever happened. Your Barney will still always be there. Let a new generation of kids experience what you experienced during your childhood. So what I'm asking each and every one of you Barney fans is to be kind to one another. You're able to vocalize your opinions. You don't have to like it. I'm not saying you have to like it, but please respect it. Because by bashing Barney today, you're no better than what people were doing in the 90s bashing Barney. This show is not being made for you. It's being made for a new generation. Don't ruin the new generation of children's opportunity to get to know Barney in the same way you did. To get to love Barney in the same way you did. Barney's messages of love, acceptance, and inclusion transcend generations. And whether or not they're going to keep those timeless messages, we've yet to see. The new Barney is never going to replace my Barney, the Barney in my childhood, just like it's not going to replace the Barney in your childhood. Today's youth deserve Barney too, so don't ruin it for them.